All right, welcome back to Humans of Grappling, where we explore the intersection of grappling and everything else in life. We talk about applying grappling to everyday life and everyday life to grappling. We're here today with Jiu-Jitsu purple belt and healthcare worker Michael Pabua. Mike, welcome to the show.
Mike, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you again for letting me be a guest.
Oh yeah, no, you're like one of the biggest supporters of Sandbox BJJ. So happy to have you out. You're like the perfect customer. So
Yeah. I appreciate you. I mean, because I think we've been rolling since like 2019. Because I think that's when I started going to 10th Planet, and dude, it's always been a pleasure rolling with you, learning from you. So yeah,
bro, I was learning from you when we first started. Like you're. I mean, you've been a purple belt the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a sorry, not to like shit on you.
Sandbagging
Sandbagging. Yeah, right. Yeah, sandbagging instead of sandbox. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's good to have like other big bodies in the room to because like moves work differently on 200 plus pound humans than
Yes.
smaller people, right?
for sure. And like you were the first like big guy. I was like, oh, he's playing deep half. I'm like, this is cool. Like,
Right.
yeah,
And you're the first person that deep half didn't work on. So like your weirdly flexible legs. I was like, oh no, his hips don't work this way.
Yeah.
Like
For a
they
big
don't.
guy, I was surprised. I remember that exact moment you're talking about, where you had me in the splits.
Yeah.
And I see Dual look at me. I'm like, dude, what are you're doing a split?
Yeah, exactly. And every other time it still hasn't worked on you. So yeah, I've had to do different things. So yeah. So I guess that's a little bit how we met. But
Yeah.
I guess where do you start jiu-jitsu like prior to 10th Planet?
Yeah. Prior, where did I even start? You know, the idea started like, I want to say in 2013. I was watching like Boss Ruden, you know, the MMA legend. He had this show about like self-defense on the street, and what would you do in a bar situation or a parking lot. And it got me thinking, like, do I really know how to fight? You
Right.
know, and when I was younger, I mean, I did martial arts because I was bullied originally. So and then I stopped in college. It's just like, I'm over it. So
Right.
I mean, I was always aware of MMA in the background, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
when that show got on, I'm like, okay, maybe I should try something. And I happen to know like this local MMA fighter, and he showed me to Syndicate MMA, which is a famous gym already here
Mhm.
in Vegas. And I thought I'd like striking better, like Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did enjoy it at the time, but then I was like, I noticed I was better at grappling or jiu-jitsu in general, and I just stuck with it ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, you've been like 10 years now, maybe?
10
Or
years, yeah.
ish?
10,
Yeah.
yeah, 10 years. I mean, it hasn't been always consistent. I mean, we
Yeah,
talked about this
right.
in your Sandbox BJJ, but we can go deeper into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Like it's like how long have you trained is a weird question because
Yeah.
we don't like keep track of the days that we train, right? Or the consecutive weeks, or it's just kind of like the first day that you ever step foot on a mat, and then that you could just count that as, oh, I've been training since then. But yeah, I've had on and off spurts of training as well. I've trained for 12 years, and it's like, but yeah, there was periods where I didn't train for 6 months. They're like spurts throughout there. So it's kind of interesting to kind of like see where like rubber meets the road and see that like kind of starts and sputs of progress of like, all right, you get a little bit up, you start getting momentum, then life happens, or then like whatever else, like I had college and then I had other life stuff happen. It's like just kind of stuff just kind of gets in the way of training. It's like, what the heck, I want to do this thing, but priorities. So I
No, for
guess
sure.
yeah, how'd you get into healthcare, which I don't believe you were in when we first met, right?
I was
It
actually I was in healthcare.
where you were training?
Well, it was a weird time actually. I
Yeah.
stepped away from healthcare for a little bit, but just to
Oh,
backtrack.
okay, gotcha.
So like I guess where this starts is like, I mean, coming from a Filipino background, my people are expected to go into hospitality and
Right.
specifically nursing, right?
Yep,
And that's
yep.
just you're from the Bay Area, so like
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So there's this stereotype that Filipinos have to be nurses, and I almost fell for the same trap. But in college here at UNLV, I was like, I'm not sure I want to do this, man. I'm sucking at. I mean, like I liked anatomy, but I wasn't really like studying. I was studying like like the names, but like the actual physiology of learning the actual stuff. Like, okay, I'm not good at this stuff, so
Sure.
I have to pivot now. But I still stuck in healthcare towards an administration side.
Okay.
I had a friend that was like, maybe clinical's not for me. Like being a doctor, nurse, physical therapist. Let's try this administration thing. Maybe I'm good at it. And I later on I come to find out that I'm good at it. But at the time I'm like, I'm just trying to graduate.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wish I had something, but I think that's how you find your path somehow, even if it's
Yeah.
not sure in the beginning.
Right.
So yeah, getting to healthcare from there, and then so graduated from UNLV. Before I graduated, I was an intern at a hospital, local hospital, county hospital called UMC, and basically my job was to make sure the main like ER and trauma units had enough supplies for their top used supplies, whatever. I mean, I could go deeper into it, but just to
Sure. Yeah. We're on a podcast.
Yeah.
We got. we're here to go deep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I had to make sure they had like ambu bags, like these IV fluid things, a whole bunch of stuff, and that, I mean, it gave me my first look into healthcare, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, because me and my what do you call that? My classmate at the time, we were working together on it's basically our project before we graduate.
Oh, okay.
And so, as I said, it's to make sure these ER units have enough supplies. But it was such a mess. Like, we figured out what was going on. Like, the chain supply people were not delivering at the right times, and we had this system to make it more effective and efficient. But no one, at least in county hospital-wise, was listening to us.
Yeah.
Even the director.
Sure. Who's going to listen to the interns? Tell them how to do their job, right?
We're not smart.
Yeah, right. It's not like you're going to school for this or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a project, right? It's just for us to give us a grade.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was like for like 3 or 4 months, and we had to present at the end of the semester before we graduated, and our our teacher told us, "You're the best project because you guys dealt with hardship and blockades along the way. It was more unrealistic. Everyone else had like, you had to do this and you accomplished it, but you guys, even though you guys didn't accomplish your goal, you suggested something that would have saved them thousands of dollars.
Yep.
I mean, thousands, like 20,000, 30,000, all that stuff.
Right.
And for that, you guys get the best project. You get to present to like all the master's students. So
Nice.
even though it wasn't the best outcome,
Yeah.
that was like my first introduction to healthcare, and then from there,
Sure.
I mean, I could go into each job, but that's my first. That's how I got into healthcare, essentially.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's interesting because that's rubber meeting the road and like your first foray into like, oh, this is what real life is. It's like it's like jiu-jitsu. It smacks you in the face of like, oh, this is like you have this idea. It's like idealistic view of like, oh, this is how it should work or how it could work, but it's like, oh no, like somebody's gonna just like the equivalent the health care administrative equivalent of somebody mounting you and keeping you down,
exactly,
not letting you do anything for 3 to 4 months. So yeah, that's cool. So I guess over time, have you seen those things kind of go hand in hand in terms of like how can you analogize or see kind of things that translate between the two, healthcare and like jiu-jitsu?
I definitely got mounted in my first as an intern, but I think I got smothered on my first job.
Right. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm thankful and grateful because these were great moments, and I found my niche later on, which was like I'm good at like patient engagement, de-escalating things, and patient advocacy for patients that don't understand the healthcare system. That's where I've become more I guess my expertise wise.
Yeah.
And I'll go into what I do now, but in a bit.
Yeah.
So like my first job, I worked for a medical transportation management company. So this medical transportation company would provide transportation for all Medicaid patients who are on the lower income and just need that extra help, especially with the transportation. And my specific population was focused on dialysis patients who can like basically like let go of waste through their body normally, how you usually do.
Right. Yeah.
So it is a specific but important and population that really needs that help.
Yep.
So on that first job, I came to realize that because Nevada for this company was new to Nevada that I got hired for, but the implementation of making this happen for like I don't know how many patients we were dealing with. I don't know, 200, 300,000 patients from Nevada. That's a lot of people, by the way.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Right.
Implementation went wrong, meaning because we would outsource to like different medical transportation companies, and we were the ones managing it, right? They were all on board, but then just the way it went about on the first day, they were losing thousands of dollars because a lot of these rides were late, and just a lot of things that were supposed to be put in place were not put through. And what came about this is that I had to be the guy who had to deal with the dialysis patients and anyone who had, those type of like conditions where it was very essential for them to be at these appointments.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
So I had to de-escalate it and make sure they got rides. I was basically cleaning up a mess.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I've always been in a coordinator role, just like managing this. This was my first like coordinator. I forgot my exact title at the time, but
right. Yeah.
Just coordinating the transportation. So I had to make sure that all these patients were taken care of, and
yeah.
After 3 months, we cleaned it up. It was good, but I'm not gonna lie, it was hell because people are yelling at you. The state's calling our office, and I gotta talk to them. And I mean, I get comfortable over time because I don't know. I'm like, there's no point of me freaking out.
Yeah.
I just have to get these people to their appointments and get them back home safely.
Right. Yep. So exactly.
That's another. Basically, I got smothered on my first but I did get resilient, get better.
Yeah.
There was resistance, but it was a good resistance that paved the way for me in my future jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. You got exposure to discomfort over time.
Yeah.
Like your first day, you're like, oh my God, I'm breaking all these laws or something like that, and like these people are gonna die without these rides or which I mean is like pretty serious, but
it is.
They're not urgently like
dying,
dying. They're not dying right there.
Yeah.
It's like but for their health, you need to get these people to their appointments.
Yeah.
So, no, that I can imagine. Like I don't do anything like remotely as important as that. Like maybe I write code that helps code go out to other code. Like it's I'm so far away from like so abstracted away from any like customer. I guess not. I mean, I help code that like gets code out to customers, and those customers may be like healthcare workers, and like we're in a lot of different things in terms of what our system touched. But ultimately, it's business software. It's not like I feel like it's not medical. It's not like actual patient
facing
not really administrating, but like you're facilitating their care, which is super important. And like capital I important, like that, like we really need to restructure society around like capital I important jobs rather than just like, oh yeah, I write code, something invisible that does something else that's invisible, and it's not like, I don't know, I don't see that as like really impacting people as much as say like that job for you. So that's cool. I mean, and like over time, you develop resilience, and that's just kind of staying calm under pressure. And you said de-escalate. So what you meant by de-escalate was like people are mad at you, right? And you couldn't jiu-jitsu them,
Yeah.
But did you verbal jiu-jitsu them, maybe?
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
I let them spit out whatever they want to spit out, and I don't take it
Yeah.
to heart because it's their health.
Yeah.
If this was like, In-N-Out Burger and someone's complaining about, hey, you put a tomato in my burger, I made it have the patience.
Right, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, imagine that guy met the patient I was dealing with. Like, this
Yeah.
guy could die if he doesn't go to his ride because he couldn't, take out his waste from his body.
Yeah.
Like, it's the smallest problem. So it's like, I mean, healthcare always gave me perspective. Like, dude, people have it worse, and I'm thankful to have good health and train jiu-jitsu, and and these people, like, if I can make an impact on their day, even if it's such a small thing as transportation, I think that would, I feel so much better deep inside. I can sleep at night. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're doing like a real service. Like that's like a real job. Like there's a meme that I love is like, if you can't imagine your job being done by like a cartoonish like pig dressed up in like little outfits in like a children's book, you don't have a real job.
Yeah.
So like you on the phone, like
Yeah.
with little cartoon ambulances going to and from, like that's a real job. So yeah, that's cool.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess, bringing it back to jiu-jitsu, where has your journey kind of coincided, or how has that developed as you've developed in your career? Like how's, like I like you mentioned, like you kind of had ups and downs, and kind of how have you been able to manage or not having jiu-jitsu in your schedule?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helped me through those stressful times because you need to relieve that stress in a healthy way.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone could go, like, could go to the bar or whatever. I mean, again, I'm not condoning that stuff. I'm just saying, like, jiu-jitsu has always been a healthy outlet for me.
Sure.
And again, I say to myself, I'm like, if someone's choking me, and I'm like, my job is nothing compared to this moment right here where I'm like about to be choked or leg lock or whatever.
Right.
So again, it's just like how healthcare gives me perspective on, like, people have it harder.
Yeah. I'm
actually experiencing this hardship, but in a way that's fun and healthy to me.
Sure. Yeah.
And of course, like, as you mentioned, the verbal jiu-jitsu, I've always had to let people release that negative energy, and like I kind of have this shield on, right? I have my frames, and like I'm just like, okay, so and then what now? How can I help you? And this is where I find the problem. This is where I find the submission. So like, I've always correlated them both. So yeah, I mean, in that way, I mean, that's how I see jiu-jitsu and work. It's like I'm constantly problem solving.
For sure.
Especially dealing with people, it's very dynamic. It's not like I'm just doing this task and then I'm done with it. No, I'm dealing with people. Yeah. And then once I know I've done the job, when I've, once I've submitted, I won't say submitted the person, but like I took care of I submitted their request, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Right. Yeah, you got them off the phone.
Yeah, there you go.
you have to keep talking to them until they hang up, or
exactly.
whatever the, like, until they feel like they've exhausted all their options with you, or you took care of it in as much as you could have. Whatever. So okay, interesting. Yeah, that's because like when I'm working, it's like it's me versus a computer. Like that a thing that doesn't move. It's like, sometimes it's dynamic, sometimes systems go up and down and whatnot, but it's not as dynamic as a person, like with their own thoughts and feelings and whatever. That you have no idea what's going on prior to them calling you in that day or whatever. So yeah, I can imagine that's just as, like, I don't know, I don't want to use crazy, but like just dynamic as like a real person in front of you in jiu-jitsu is like that. You have to kind of adjust to them. You both are just kind of like adjusting to each other to try to figure stuff out.
Oh, definitely.
Seems like.
And I give you guys props, like, because you're computer science background, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
I have a friend who's computer science. He would tell me about the stuff at work he deals with. Like, I mean, obviously, it's not dynamic with a person, but like you're dealing with a problem, and like he would tell me, like, Mike, I'm just hitting my head on the wall because I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this program. I think he does like military software. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
But it sounds hard. It sounds hard, and I don't know anything about that world. But
Right.
I give you guys a props because I mean, if there's an IT guy helping with like the medical software, you guys make my job easier and make the patient's life easier. So indirectly, you guys are helping us in some way, shape, or form, whether it be the business world or healthcare world. You're helping someone out.
Yeah. That's we all need all kinds of people to make the world go around. It seems like. But yeah, I have the same phrase. Like I'm bashing my head against the keyboard. Like when I'm working on a problem, I just bash my head, like just trying to make something work. Try to get the correct arrangement of letters to
make it work.
To make it work. Yeah, which is a crazy thing. Like I just type for a living. Like how is that valuable at all? So it's indistinguishable, but you know, it's a weird thing. So cool. But I guess why did you sign up for Sandbox BJJ? Why are you so involved? What's the deal?
I think it was just hitting a wall. I mean, like we've hit many walls in jiu-jitsu, but I feel like okay, I'm a purple belt, like
yeah. And
I'm not looking towards brown or black. I mean, obviously you do want those things deep inside, but I'm like, what are the skills needed for those things? What have I not improved on that I avoided the longest, right? Mm-hmm. So that includes the pin escapes and turtle, which we've been which we worked on, and like I feel like I've made more jiu-jitsu gains and progress with you compared to like previous years. When I first met you, I was coming from the gi, and I was still watching no gi guys, like because like that's when like DDS was still like becoming a thing,
right? Yeah. And
I was like, oh, no one knows this stuff, so I'm going to try it on people, and it was working. But then once the people catch up, it's like, what do I do now? I think like you can't rely on trends. I was like, trends are cool and all, but what's the
People love to say the meta. This is the meta now.
Now, that's now. Yeah. People back then, it's like, focus on the fundamentals. And, like, what does that mean, though? Like, everyone had a different teaching style. But I guess, when I started to, go to Austin to see, like, how the training was back there, I'm like, okay, it's more focused. It's not like how it is at most schools. And then, when, learning about ecological, I'm like, dude, I just don't test stuff out as much, and I think that's what I needed, that little push to test certain positions and put in a task-based game so I have an objective towards achieving that skill,
Right. Cool. Yeah, definitely. Like I've definitely seen an improvement in like me like talking shit mid-round, be like, all right, come on, we got to go. I think I do that with people that like I'm comfortable, like I have a good relationship with you to like know that you're not going to take it the wrong way or whatever, and just like having that sense of urgency to like know, hey, this is the fight right now. Like we need to go, and we need to like either get up from turtle or turn into guard or stuff like that. Like I think that's kind of what I'm trying to help. I mean, you're like a model student. You're like my first like test case of like you're the guinea pig for all this. But there's people who come in Tuesday, Thursdays who like I also like I'm training, and I run all my classes like this. So like I'm training people up, and it seems to be effective, like in different areas too. Like for a couple months, like I was leg locking people, and I was teaching leg locks, and all of a sudden we had a bunch of leg lockers at like getting people at open mats who maybe they shouldn't have been getting, or like getting into leg battles where there were. I have one example of a white belt who like was getting into a shootout with I don't know, I forget the belt, but like a higher belt. And they were like, "Oh, what belt are you?" And or how long have you been training? And the dude's like, my student was like, "Oh, less than a year." The guy's like mind blown. Like, it's crazy how good you can get when you focus, like when you like really focus on like a skill to develop, like you have with Turtle over this last like month or so.
No, yeah, no, dude, it's been amazing. I'm like, I wish I knew this sooner, but obviously, I mean, I guess ecologically, being you didn't learn about this until like recently compared to like our
over
early
the last,
jiu-jitsu.
yeah,
right?
over the last like 2 years or so. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you've been so good. Imagine you started like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Like Kit Dale. Like were you there? Were you around training with Kit Dale?
I was aware of Kit Dale. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that was what he was doing, and he just couldn't articulate it as well. And like he was just like, oh yeah, I skip drilling and just show up to rolling, and I just work on specific things, and nobody really caught on to that. So
yeah, I think back then it was like concept-based jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
And then before it was like called ecological or constraint-based.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember thinking that was cool, but I was also like a blue belt, so I was like, who gives a shit what I think is cool? And I wasn't in charge of a program or anything, so I had very little like ability to do anything about that. So yeah, that's interesting. So I guess like what's been like a big, I mean, outside of like this turtle type of thing that you've been doing this last month, like what's been like a big like influence in your game? Like do you have anybody that you're trying to emulate, or you're trying to like direct yourself towards?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching a lot of Joseph Chen.
Okay.
And his tripod passing and just his passing in general. I think it's good to see. I mean, he thinks on the fly, and I'm trying to like, obviously you want to takes time to develop that skill, but like the way he thinks about it, I'm like, I want to be as fluid and as smooth as he is.
That's cool.
Passing wise.
Right.
Outside that, I mean, for my own personal game, I mean, now it's just focusing on guard retention, keeping those knees and elbows in, and then framing at the right time. I think you mentioned beating to the punch, beating that person to the punch. I'm trying to now put that into guard retention, because I feel like I've always been lazy. I'm just like, okay, the guy's just going to be on top of me. Now I think it's more like I'm more intentional about it, for sure.
Yeah. There's a sense of urgency. Like you gotta go. Like that something interesting that I've been doing last couple weeks is doing 2-minute rounds, and on Tuesdays, 2-minute Tuesdays. So
I noticed.
like open rounds is like, or like the first 5 rounds or so. It's like, okay, you gotta go. You gotta go and beat the guy to the punch. You gotta go and be first. And you have to like go and win, because you have such a small amount of time to work. So have you been around for those?
Yeah. Last Tuesday, I remember you doing it.
Last Tuesday? Okay, gotcha. Cool. What'd you think?
It was good. It was my heart rate. Yeah. High heart rate.
High heart rate rounds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, let's do more of those, because it's like, it reminds me of like a competition where like you got 2 minutes left. Make it work. Make something happen. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. You recently went down to Austin to train. How was that?
That was awesome, dude. Got to go to 10th Planet, Austin. Always great rolls out there, because like, dude, I didn't even know they had like, is it 20 round Tuesdays?
20 rounds.
I think they went more like 10 to 15, but like on the schedule it says 20 rounds. I was like, that's way too much.
Right? Yeah.
Nonetheless, you got a variety of everyone, and plus like I think that's like middle ground for like a lot of the schools, like B Team, New Wave, like they show up there and that's like everyone's there.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's neutral ground.
Neutral ground, yeah.
That's funny. Of course, the 10th Planet is the most inclusive, like, exactly. I don't know, space. Just nobody has beef when there's when it's 10th Planet and all the things that go along with that. Okay, cool, interesting. Did you check out B Team or? Yeah,
B Team was awesome. I only got to try one class, but Ethan Quellenstein taught a class. It was awesome. And then he taught like, what do you even teach? K-guard into like a heel hook sequence, and then did some situationals, and then whole bunch of scraps and rolls for sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you get to roll with Nicky Rod at all?
I didn't. I think he was preparing for UFC Fight Pass. I think which is tomorrow.
Oh yeah, right.
So he was rolling with his main training partner Vince. I think he's trying
to
open a gym out here. So
right.
No, but I was talking to Vince for a little bit. So he's a cool guy. Everyone was chill and cool to talk to over there at B Team.
That's cool. Yeah. No, my Nicky Rod story is we went down there for my bachelor party like a couple of years ago, and maybe it was like 3 years ago now, and we did there was like a drilling portion of class for Damian Anderson was teaching.
Oh, nice.
And it was pretty cool. It was like butterfly to cross ashi, like off balance with the butterfly, then kind of what you call reverse X to cross ashi type of thing.
Okay.
And then to like double 50, like it was really simple, and then he just
elaborated
really
to complex.
Really simple to like really like calculus complex. So that was pretty cool. And then Nicky Rod came in after drilling. And I
did the same thing. I saw all the pros come in after the drilling.
Right. And then he comes in to train, and I went with him a couple rounds, so he fucked me up. So
man.
I think I want to say that I like puzzled him a little bit with my deep half.
Yeah.
But he eventually took my back and squozed my face. So like that was that was it. So yeah. That was fun.
Hopefully next time I'll get to roll with the pros,
right.
But I was like more on the far end of the mats.
I see. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I think he was there just like it was a handful of us, and we were just getting beat up by Nicky Rod. It was like he stole our money, we stole his lunch money or something like that.
Did he ask you guys you guys roll with me?
He asked us. Like he pointed us out. Like, we're fuck. Like this is I don't know. It was fun, but
nice.
He took a picture afterwards. It was
awesome.
It was all friendly. So cool. So I guess you're working on guard retention, and I guess like why get better at jiu-jitsu? Like why do we even do this thing?
That's the greatest mystery,
right? Like, why do we care so much?
I actually enjoy the sport. I think, I wasn't really like, I played a lot of sports younger.
Yeah.
But I always felt a natural, actually felt better towards martial arts in general, like doing karate and all the Filipino martial arts and all these things. So like, I was good at just understanding, recognizing patterns and all that.
Yeah.
But I just enjoy watching jiu-jitsu and seeing the improvements and how far the evolution has come. So it's like, it's my basketball to like, compared to everyone else's other sports.
Right. Yeah. Like people play like pickup basketball, right? Like people in pickup courts, like adults playing pickup basketball, have no intention of making it to the league, right?
Exactly.
Like there is no, like, they're not going to go and like ever hoop against LeBron James or whatever, but they're going to go and like have some runs with their buddies, like down at the Y every Wednesday or something like that. Like, and it's a way to kind of be competitive in a community, it feels like, and it's like a positive upward spiral almost. Like you're like, everybody's kind of helping each other, like one up each other a little bit, but then like that pushes you to be better, and it just feels like like the jiu-jitsu is about the community, at least, or it seems to be, right? Yeah. And
like you have that chance to train with the pros, and you go to any gym you want around the world, basically.
Right.
And it's like, that's awesome, and I could test myself. I'm not just like playing with a bunch of random dudes at my at my 24-hour fitness gym or something like that, right? So it's but to really answer your question, I thought about this. I'm like, okay, I do it because I think like the younger me would be like, dude, you're doing something that not only you know how to defend yourself, but it's so badass. It's like, right? It's like watching all those 80s, 90s action films. I'm like, dude, I could do bet. I mean, I could fight, John McClane and Steven Seagal right now. Like,
right?
I mean, grappling wise, I don't know about
grappling. Strictly grappling.
Yeah.
80cc rules.
Yeah, exactly. So my younger self would be like, "Yeah, you're doing it, man." I think that's that excitement I still have for martial arts since I was a kid. It's always been there.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good bar to judge ourselves by. Is like, what would kid version of me want? And if it's being a badass, like that's pretty cool. That drives a hard argument, like that's not like being a hero to like your younger self, and being like an example and kind of fulfilling on like, oh, like you looked up to these action heroes. Well, you can like be an action hero every day at 6 a.m. Like that's a reality. It's not not just this exceptional one-off thing. It's like, oh no, we can go every day and beat each other up like in a safe way. Like
exactly,
like we're not taking any damage. Not knock on wood. Like not like consistently like striking or anything like that, but like it's relatively safe, and you get a good workout, and you learn how to like actually control somebody against their will. That sounds pretty cool. Like yeah, it's a weird thing.
We're living a simulated safe version of Bloodsport,
right? It's a kumite every day.
Yeah.
Right? It's funny. Yeah, right? Yeah, like everyone just gathers around, like gathers in the dark parking lot of 10th Planet under the cover of night. We leave our loved ones to come and like join this fight club type of thing.
Exactly.
And it's it's the weirdest thing, but I think if you could like I guess I was where I'm getting at is like my younger self couldn't even imagine the type of life that I'm living now, and I think that's like a good like litmus test for like, are you going in the right direction? Would younger you be proud of you right now? It's like and if it's then it's like, oh, okay, even if I don't have everything I want, like ultimately like I'm still striving for stuff now. It's like, oh, okay, I couldn't even like begin to imagine what life like that this life was even possible. Like that I would even move out of California to the fight capital of the world to train with some of the best people in the world. Like I'd be at 10th Planet Las Vegas, and that's a thing, or that's a brand now. And I don't know. It's so strange. It's such a strange thing, but also like this micro niche sport, but to be like kind of among the like you said, we can go and train with literally Andy Varela tonight in 15 minutes if we wanted to. Like one of the top guys in the world. Yeah, he's down the street. So yeah, it's interesting. Cool. So I guess where in terms of I guess connecting it back with like your job, work, administrator type of thing. Yeah. Do you have like a similar type of like career path ambitions, or like how do you like use that kind of iterative improvement like in your job, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, right now, so what I'm doing right now, just to give you some context, is like, I mean, patient engagement coordinator. I mean, I'm a patient advocate first. Yeah. So anything on the non-clinical side that the patient needs help with is because we're a primary care clinic, so people need their primary doctor before they see other doctors. So I mean, I help educate them and guide. I see myself as a guide for them, so that they don't get lost in the weeds or get screwed over by someone, right? Right. Yeah. And then another part of my job, which is like, because we're under like on the marketing side, I mean, I help bring in patients. So we do a lot of community outreach, and if there's people who do need like a primary doctor, like, hey, you haven't been checked up in a couple of years, come see us. Yeah. Nice. I trust the doctors that I work with, because I mean, all the patients have said great things about them, and I try to at least do my part in just showing them, hey, if you need a doctor, come see us. I'll be more than happy to help.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I mean, I'm trying to stay always on the patient advocacy side. Unfortunately, I mean, like healthcare has become more like a corporate business, unfortunately.
Sure, right.
Yeah, the United Healthcare, all these other big companies in healthcare. If I can just be like that, just that light for people, I think I'm doing my part. And I mean, again, I just naturally like helping people, and
right.
I think that's very fulfilling at the end of the day. I mean, you mentioned like you never thought you'd be like where you are now. It's like I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm doing jiu-jitsu. I'm in healthcare administration. Nothing what I dreamed of when I was a kid. So like, but I am living the life. I can't complain. And like, and of course, there's tough things about our job. Like you don't talk that on a really regular basis. But at the end of the day, all the good stuff outweighs the bad. So can't complain about that.
Right. Yeah. That's as long as there's good stuff, like it's all worth it. Like if you can get that positive return on just your time, energy, money, I mean the energy that you're putting into work, like you're seeing, I mean, yes, you get a paycheck, but you're also seeing like your patients, or not the patients who come to see your office. Are they your patients, or are they like?
I'm not a doctor.
You're not.
The patients that I help with that come to my office. You got it.
Yeah. Right. But like you're helping them out. You're doing them a real service of like directing them towards the right thing, making sure people don't slip through the cracks, and like the referrals go out to the right offices, and like following up with like, oh hey, have you like done tests with patient XYZ or whatever, like all that stuff. Like it's very, I'm sure it's not automated, or it's very, very like there has to be real people checking in on these other real people to get things done. Yeah,
because it's not an integrated system; it's a broken system, unfortunately.
Right.
And then I help sort it out, and I think that's where, again, the problem solving, like jiu-jitsu, it's like, okay, how do I help this guy just get the referral, because it's such a pain in the butt dealing with these people. So it's a mix of the problem solving and dealing with people, which is it keeps it interesting.
Yeah. Every day is a different challenge, huh?
For sure. Yeah.
Right. Because it's like everybody has a different issue. They need to go and see a different doctor, get some different tests or whatever. And I'm sure you figure out like patterns, right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
definitely.
It's this. This looks like this issue. Then okay, I can send like whatever, solve it in this way. But then person on the other end of the line is like giving you crap or something. Yeah. Like do other offices,
or they're not doing their job. Yeah, they're not doing their job, or they don't know, or sorry, we'll get to it. Yeah, it's those top three responses. I'm like, scratching my head. I'm like, I need to help.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm a guy who likes to solve it right away. Obviously, I mean that's not. In practicality, it's not always going to happen. Yeah. But at least I try to be proactive, because I don't want to deal with it later. And let's just help this patient out of the way, because it's one less patient for me to worry about.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like you're trying to like just get people the help that they need. Like, ultimately, like this is you're not doing this for fun. You're not calling up these offices. Yeah. Just be like, hey, how's your day?
Yeah. You're right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, unless you're into that, I don't know. Like
I barely have time to say. Right. Of course, I'll say how's it going. I mean, if I know that office, but it's very rare.
Right. Yeah. You're just getting straight to the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Like, do you guys all know each other in like the office people of all these different?
I know my clinics. So like for my primary care, it's a medical group, so they have like 13 clinics, primary care doctor clinics. I know like most of like the managers around each clinic, but I oversee 2 clinics, which is, I mean, it's enough patients for me to deal with. But I know who to talk to if I have a problem at that clinic. But then if it goes beyond like a specialist, like you need to see a heart doctor or a lung doctor or something like that, then it gets tricky, because I don't know there's so many offices, like so many specialists. So I always find a way. That's all I gotta say.
Right? Yeah, not to give away the trade secrets here.
Yeah, no.
the secret sauce. But,
I mean, there's no secret sauce. It's just
right.
you find a way or you don't, and
right.
each scenario is different on its own.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because that's the interesting thing is like, yeah, Las Vegas is so like widespread, like, so like, I don't know, I had no idea that there were so many like healthcare offices around. That it feels like every other corner is a healthcare office.
Yes, it is, and it's. I mean, Vegas. I mean, just learning from college, like it didn't have time to establish like a proper healthcare system like you would see in the East Coast or like New York and these older cities or even California. I think Vegas I mean, people thought it was going to remain small, but then as more people started moving here, the healthcare system had to grow like with it, and it hadn't had time to like establish the proper channels to like how do we mitigate these problems for the general healthcare system here in Vegas. So so it's a broken. I mean, most of the system is broken, but some healthcare systems in other states are better than others.
Sure,
let's just say that.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Like at least in California, a lot of people use like Kaiser, and that's all in one house. Like you go there, you go to one building, and you can see everybody, and like people that either works out for some people or doesn't. And so some people like that, and like my family didn't like that, and me and my brother would always get hurt in sports or whatever. We just want to go see the orthopedist. We don't need to see a primary care specialist first, and then like we just want to. We know our guy. we have our orthopedist guy that we go and see. So it's like, but that's how often we got injured. It's like just we just have specific doctors we went and saw.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah, I don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up because Kaiser is like it's a conglomerate, dude. It rules California, and it's like yes, you're right. It could be either really good or bad for people, and like I think a lot of patients I talk to, they like that mom and pop type of feel, like local. Like we heard about this doctor through our friends or family, and that's why we go here. And it's been great ever since. So like, but California's a little bit harder because it's much more bigger. But Vegas, you still have that flexibility to find out. I mean, I would say just for anyone's looking for a doctor of any kind, do your research. I mean, look up reviews because that's where, that's how you know if the doctor is good. If the patient says, like, if they had great care, right?
Right, yeah.
I mean, they could be the smartest doctor in the world, but if they give, like, the worst patient, like, facing care, like, in terms of, like, how they made them feel, it's probably not going to work out.
Right, yeah. That's having somebody who, like, actually feels like they care. Like they actually feel like they're going to listen to you and be like, oh, I don't feel good. It's like, okay, like the doctor either like cares enough to like dig in further or there's like, just don't worry about it or whatever. And then like that develops into something else later. Right. So yeah, that's interesting. I guess I don't know. How do medical reviews work? Like, because of course you're with reviews, you're going to see like 1 stars, like, I died or whatever, like, whatever, this doctor treated me so poor. Like, there's going to be a wide variety of reviews for everyone. Right. So I guess how would you say you navigate that? Or how do you, advocate for patients to navigate that maybe?
I mean, there's some legit websites like I think it's like MD Health Grades. And like basically, it's like Rate My Professor.
Oh yeah.
But for doctors.
Okay, for doctors. Okay, gotcha.
Because you remember in college, like, I want to know who's like the best professor for this class.
Right.
Same thing. There's maybe there's like 2 or 3. I forget the 2 other names, but I think MD Health Grades is like one of the top ones.
Gotcha.
And I also look at Google reviews. Like I look at everything. There's not just like one website. They'll be like, unfortunately, there should be one, but. I would look at any website that has reviews of the doctor. This way you have a general sense of what, the good and the bad. And then if it's a majority great reviews and then there's like 1 or 2, I'd probably go with them still. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because there's like doctors have malpractice insurance for a reason. Like something is bound to go wrong with by seeing enough patients, right? Like in jiu-jitsu, the injury rate is 100%. For just like as long as you train over time, over a long enough time horizon, you're gonna get injured.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I don't know. So stuff goes wrong, and we bump into each other in life, and just kind of, it's something that we can kind of expect. Like, life isn't 100% risk free. So, yeah, cool. Let's see, anything else I got here? I don't know. I guess what other things, if anything, would you little known about the healthcare system, or stuff that you could recommend to the general audience?
That's a good question. Get your blood work done, so
Get
you know
your
what's
blood
going on
work
with your
done.
body. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Like the PT guys support Merrick Health, but I mean any lab like LabCorp or Quest. I'm not sponsored by them. If you want to sponsor this podcast, support my boy Mike Lady.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm just putting a plug in for you, but
Mike 15, get your blood work done. Yeah.
Yeah.
For 15%.
Get your blood work done. I think it's because that's what I mean. At least in primary care, that's what the doctor looks at first to see what's really going on with your body. I mean, it tells a lot. Obviously, there's more comprehensive, like more detailed blood work things like Merrick Health. I think they go more in depth than the regular doctor.
Right.
But just knowing the general or even the basics, I think that goes a long way.
Right.
Because you don't know what's going on in your body. I mean,
yeah. You don't feel, you don't feel your cholesterol or whatever, right? Yeah.
You eat 10 steaks and you work out every day, but dude, you could be that cholesterol could be so bad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I did get a free panel from Merrick Health, and it was kind of interesting. The one of the main takeaways was I was deficient in vitamin D because I don't get outside. Like that's I mean, duh. Like, I'm a programmer. Like, of course I need to get my ass outside a little bit more. But also I was deficient in boron, which is like a weird mineral or something, I guess. And it's involved in like testosterone production. I was like, and my testosterone was already at like 700 something, so which is pretty good, like normal range. But I was like, oh, okay, I'm deficient in a thing that could like actually improve my performance a little bit. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like that's value added there. And there was actually also a some particular cholesterol. I forget what it was. I forget what it was, but like it was like this heart marker where it's like, oh, it's genetic, so you can't really do anything about it. But all you can do is like take like a baby aspirin every day to like mitigate the risks or something. So I was like, oh, okay, great. I wouldn't have known that if I didn't get a free $500 panel from Craig Jones. So yeah, thanks, Craig Jones.
Well, I'm glad you know what's going on, because it's just I think people like are honestly, they're skeptical. It's like, I don't have time, or they whatever excuses. I'm like, just get it done. It could save your life. Who knows? Yeah,
for sure. Like that compounds over time. Like, it's not as long. Like, yes, it's uncomfortable to like really be faced with the truth of like, oh shit, like my lipids are all fucked up or something like that, right? Like, I got to get that under control, or like it's uncomfortable to like bring yourself to that, but like once you get it, it's like, oh, now you can control it. Now you have a number that you can like dial up and down depending on, like, indirectly with your lifestyle and like how many steaks versus veggies you eat or whatever, right? Yeah. So I mean, steak versus like steak and veggie, that's pretty healthy, but like, pizza versus veggies or whatever, right? Yeah. So that ratio. So yeah.
You actually got me thinking, like, looking at your blood test is like looking at your rolling footage.
Yes.
Seeing
There you
your
go.
weaknesses, and then
There you go.
The doctor is your coach, and he's there to tell you what you need to work on.
Right.
And if it's up to you, if you want to work on it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't want to work on, that's on you too.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, you are ultimately in charge of how skilled you are, or your levels. Do you want to be at the highest level? Well, certain things you probably don't want to be at the highest level. Yeah. But that all this is like skill based. Like that. That's one thing that this guy I listened to, Alex Ramosi, is like, everything is a skill. Like, we're not inherently talented. Like, we may be gravitating towards certain things. We may have certain attributes that we're born in, but everything is like skill. Like, we can learn and do and improve on, and that's like whatever health is one aspect that is a skill. Like, you're either skillful at like exercise and eating well and all that, or you aren't, and you just have to incrementally get better at that over time. And like there's a like, yeah, you're gonna try and fail and like go on like a crash diet at first, and it's like, okay, that doesn't work, so now all right, let me just try to eat healthy every, like, not every meal, but okay, every other meal, and then you like kind of incrementally build up over time. At least that's kind of how I've seen it for me.
I think some people are like, I need to lower down my cholesterol, so I won't eat meat for the next 3 weeks before my blood test.
Right.
I'm like, it will work, but in the long run, it's gonna catch up to you at some point.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, look at us. We're in our 30s. We're talking about our health, and like we're aware of our own mortality. That's what happens. Is yeah.
When years ago, we weren't thinking about half of this stuff.
Oh, of course not. No, we were invincible 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like when we actually go see our doctor and like have to go like get things checked out and whatnot. So cool. Any last thoughts or anything you want to plug, or sponsorships, whatever?
Shout out Sandbox BJJ.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, Mike, I mean, I've told you this before, and I say this not because I'm just on this podcast, but like,
right. Yeah.
I mean, directly, indirectly, you've always had it influenced by jiu-jitsu ever since we've rolled, and I think, like, man, like, I'm glad to have another training partner that, like, I mean, similar build, both big guys, and like is willing to challenge me and push me and even help me throughout the process of improving skill acquisition. So, shout out to you, man. I'm very grateful. So,
thank you.
I mean that, bro.
That's yeah. No, I think that's like, I mean, that's why I do it. Or like, that's not a, like, yes, of course I'm trying to make money and whatnot off this thing. Like, yes, like that's like I'm basically have the same amount of experience in both my job and jiu-jitsu, and I'm only making money off of one, and then I'm like, oh, I've got equivalent amount of experience here, let me try to do some like economic activity over here too. But ultimately it's like, oh, I feel something more from helping people improve, helping people like get better at this thing that they care about, other than like the alternative is like, I'm writing code that in some mega corporation that ultimately doesn't matter, like in some ultimate sense, like that code's going to be rewritten at some point, like somebody's going to come in and call it crap and delete it, and it's probably going to be me in a year and be like, who the fuck wrote this, and then I'll see it, oh, it was me 6 months ago or whatever. And like that is like impermanent, but like helping people and like you do in your job, like helping people having like a better human experience. I think that's like, I don't know, much more motivating. I've gotten so much out of jiu-jitsu, and like this is kind of my way to like start to give back a little bit of like coaching and helping people just get better at this weird fighting but not really fighting thing. So yeah, cool. Alrighty. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you too.
All right. Thank
Peace.
you. See you.
See ya.